Our planet, a harmonious symphony of nature, life, and culture, is facing an unprecedented threat: global warming. Imagine a grand orchestra, each instrument playing a vital role in creating a beautiful piece of music. Now picture that orchestra out of tune, the harmony disrupted, the melody lost. This is the state of our planet, as the rhythm of nature, life, and culture is being disrupted by the growing menace of global warming. Each day the temperature rises, the ice caps melt, and the sea levels increase. Our planet, once a symphony of diverse ecosystems, is now a stage for an escalating climate crisis. The harmony we once enjoyed is giving way to a discordant tune, a melody of destruction and disruption. But what is global warming? In simple terms, it's the long-term heating of Earth's climate system, primarily caused by human activities. And its consequences? They are far-reaching and devastating, affecting every aspect of life on Earth. From extreme weather events to rising sea levels, from disruptions in ecosystems to threats to human health, global warming is reshaping our world in ways we are only beginning to understand. Yet it's not just about understanding the problem. It's about recognizing our role in it and taking responsibility for our actions. It's about understanding that each one of us, in our own way, contributes to this global crisis. And it's about realizing that each one of us, in our own way, can also be part of the solution. In this video, we'll delve into the intricate web of consequences that this phenomenon unleashes upon our world. We'll explore the causes of global warming, its impact on our planet, and the solutions that can help us mitigate its effects. We'll journey through the complexities of this issue, unraveling the threads of this crisis to reveal a tapestry of challenges and opportunities. As we embark on this journey, let us remember that our planet, our home, is more than just a place. It's a symphony, a grand orchestra of life, nature, and culture. And it's up to us to restore its harmony, to tune the instruments, to conduct the orchestra, because the symphony of our planet depends on us and we are its guardians. In this video, we'll delve into the intricate web of consequences that this phenomenon unleashes upon our world. Global warming, driven by the increase in greenhouse gases, is altering our climate patterns, resulting in extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and disruptions to ecosystems. How does this happen, you might ask? Well, it's a complex process. As we burn fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas for energy, or cut down and burn forests to create pastures and plantations, carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. This buildup of gases acts like a blanket, trapping heat around the Earth, which causes the average temperature to rise. This is what we refer to as global warming. The effects are far-reaching and devastating. We're experiencing more intense and frequent storms, heat waves, and wildfires. Our oceans are swelling, threatening coastal communities, and delicate ecosystems home to countless species are being pushed to the brink. These actions release large amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, trapping heat and causing the Earth's temperature to rise. The primary culprits are human activities, such as the burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial processes. This statement rings true as we delve into the main causes of global warming and how we, as the inhabitants of this planet, contribute to it. The burning of fossil fuels for electricity, heat, and transportation is the largest single source of global greenhouse gas emissions. Coal, oil, and natural gas, when combusted, release carbon dioxide, a potent greenhouse gas. This carbon dioxide acts like a blanket, trapping heat in our atmosphere and gradually warming the planet. Deforestation is another major contributor. Forests act as carbon sinks, absorbing more carbon dioxide than they emit. But when these forests are cut down, not only does this carbon-absorbing ability cease, but the stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere, adding to the greenhouse effect. Furthermore, the land that was once forest often gets used for agriculture, another significant source of greenhouse emissions, particularly methane and nitrous oxide. Industrial processes, too, play a substantial role. The production of cement, steel, and aluminum, to name a few, involves the release of a significant amount of greenhouse gases. Not to mention, the waste generated from these processes often ends up in landfills, contributing further to the methane emissions. It's not just these activities, but our everyday lifestyle choices as well. The cars we drive, the food we eat, the products we buy, all have a carbon footprint. Every time we choose a gas-guzzling car over a bike ride, or a meat-heavy diet over plant-based options, or fast fashion over sustainable brands, we add to the problem. These actions release large amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, trapping heat and causing the Earth's temperature to rise. Unknowingly or knowingly, we are all part of this problem. But the good news is, we can also be part of the solution. But that's a discussion for another scene. For now, let's dwell on this. Every action counts and every bit of warming matters. Global warming intensifies weather patterns, leading to more frequent and severe events like hurricanes, droughts, floods, and wildfires. This isn't merely about a few extra hot days in summer or a bit more rain in winter. No, it's about a dramatic shift in the very fabric of our climate. Imagine the fiercest storm you've ever witnessed. Then imagine it growing stronger, more destructive, and happening more often. It's about dry regions becoming drier, triggering severe droughts that can ravage crops and lead to food shortages. It's about heavy rainfall causing devastating floods that wipe out homes and communities. It's about the wildfire season becoming longer and more intense, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. It's about the delicate balance of our world thrown into chaos. The repercussions are felt by communities around the world, challenging their resilience. Melting polar ice caps and glaciers contribute to rising sea levels, threatening low-lying coastal areas and island nations. Now imagine the serene coastline, the gentle lapping of waves, the salty breeze. But as temperatures continue to climb due to global warming, these tranquil scenes are under threat. The vast icy territories of our planet, the Arctic and Antarctic regions, are melting at an alarming rate. This meltwater, pouring into our oceans, is causing sea levels to rise. And it's not just about losing beautiful beaches or altering coastlines. This rise is a ticking time bomb for the millions who live in low-lying coastal areas and island nations. These communities face the risk of inundation, of their homes and lands being swallowed by the sea. But the threat doesn't stop at the water's edge. The ripple effects can be felt inland too, as people are forced to relocate, sparking a cascade of societal and economic challenges. The consequences are not just environmental, they are societal and economic, displacing millions and jeopardizing livelihoods. Global warming disrupts ecosystems, impacting biodiversity and endangering countless species. Imagine the world as an intricate puzzle, and each species, each habitat, each ecosystem is a unique piece that fits perfectly to create a beautiful, harmonious picture. Now, global warming is like a force that's shaking the puzzle, dislodging pieces, and distorting the picture. Each disruption has a ripple effect. When one species is affected, it impacts the food chain. When a habitat is destroyed, it displaces the creatures that called it home. It's not just about losing a particular species or a specific habitat. It's about the subsequent chain of events that destabilize the entire ecosystem. This destabilization threatens our planet's health. It's like a domino effect. Once it starts, it's hard to stop. It's not just the polar bears in the Arctic or the coral reefs in the ocean. It's the birds in our backyards, the bees pollinating our crops, the forests that give us clean air. From coral reefs to forests, the delicate balance of life is under threat, jeopardizing the very foundation of our planet's health. The effects of global warming extend to human health, with increased incidences of heat-related illnesses, the spread of diseases, and challenges in accessing clean water and food resources. As the mercury rises, so does the prevalence of heat strokes, dehydration, and cardiovascular issues. Furthermore, warmer climates foster the proliferation of disease vectors like mosquitoes, escalating the spread of maladies such as malaria and dengue fever. Global warming also exacerbates water and food scarcity. Droughts and floods, driven by extreme weather, can decimate crops, disrupt water supplies, and increase the risk of foodborne diseases. Moreover, the nutritional quality of the food we consume may also be compromised due to higher levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. All these factors combined create a complex, interconnected web of health threats that are not confined to any one region or population. The effects of global warming extend to human health, with increased incidences of heat-related illnesses, the spread of diseases, and challenges in accessing clean water and food resources. While the challenges are daunting, there is hope. Our collective actions can make a difference. This is not just a saying, but a call to action. As we stand on the precipice of a warming world, we have the power to change our course. We can combat global warming through potential solutions and actions that are within our reach. Let's start with renewable energy. By harnessing the power of the sun, wind, and water, we can significantly reduce our dependence on fossil fuels, the main contributors to greenhouse gas emissions. The transition to renewable energy is not just a solution for our environment, but also a catalyst for economic growth, job creation, and energy security. Next, sustainable practices. From the way we farm our food to the way we design our cities, sustainable practices offer a path to living in harmony with our planet. By adopting methods such as permaculture, green building, and circular economy, we can minimize waste, conserve resources, and reduce our carbon footprint. Finally, the role of policy cannot be understated. Advocating for policies that curb emissions is a crucial step in our fight against global warming. These can range from implementing carbon pricing, setting stringent emission standards, to promoting reforestation and conservation efforts. Our voices can influence the decisions of policymakers and push for the necessary changes. But remember, tackling global warming is not just the responsibility of governments and corporations. Each one of us plays a part. Small actions like reducing waste, consuming responsibly, and supporting sustainable businesses can add up to make a big difference. Yes, the path to solutions is not easy. It requires collective effort, systemic changes, and unwavering commitment. But it's a path we must take, for the sake of our planet, for the sake of future generations. Transitioning to renewable energy, promoting sustainable practices, and advocating for policies to curb emissions are crucial steps toward a sustainable future. This is our mission, this is our responsibility, and together we can turn the tide against global warming. It's time to act, as individuals, communities, and nations. We are not helpless in the face of this global challenge. Each of us has a role to play in combating global warming and its effects. We can be catalysts for change, starting with our daily choices and habits. We can opt for more sustainable ways of living, like reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, choosing public transportation or cycling over private vehicles, and supporting renewable energy sources. We can become mindful consumers, reducing, reusing, and recycling to decrease our waste output. We can also choose to support businesses that prioritize sustainability in their practices. As members of communities, we can push for local initiatives that promote environmental health. This could be anything from advocating for the planting of more trees, to supporting local farmers in sustainable agriculture, to participating in cleanup drives in our neighborhoods. At the national level, we can demand policies that curb greenhouse gas emissions, protect our natural resources, and support renewable energy. We can use our voices and our votes to elect leaders who recognize the urgency of the climate crisis and are committed to action. Education is also key. By learning more about global warming and its impacts, we can help to raise awareness among our friends, families, and networks. We can encourage discussions, challenge misinformation, and promote scientific understanding. We must remember, global warming is not just an environmental issue. It's a social, economic, and human rights issue. It affects all of us, and it requires all of us to act. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can face the heat. By making informed choices, supporting sustainable initiatives, and demanding change, we can work together to mitigate the impact of global warming and build a resilient and sustainable future for generations to come.